I'm wondering if you ever cry. You ever has Macho Man ever cried?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles, and I've slithered with the snakes, and I've been everywhere in between, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, back with another week of BJ and Game Day. Brent Hampton will be joining us momentarily. He's just putting the kids to bed. He said he's done 19. He's got another 6 to go, so that's fine. We did say the last time there was a tragedy, no more memorials for the year. So I thought I'd just play that bit of a motivational clip from Macho Man Randy Savage there at the start. How you doing, King?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, what a weekend of footy, mate. What a late last week. What a start to this week, mate. It feels like pre-season all of a sudden. Like, you know, it's like we've started the year again. We've got to get the the just the controversy out of the way. But
there's
mate,
that one. Well, should we wait for Brent, or do we want to talk about that?
Mate, look, I don't know whether he wants to talk about his new Unites, mate. Like,
mate, there's only 2 things that were going on in that cubicle: either Coke or Dick. And to be frank,
look, that's fair.
Kalen Ponga, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Dick. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just hazarding a guess that that's what they were up to.
Yeah, so you reckon it was that side?
Yep.
You reckon it was that side of things? Yeah, look, mate, I'm leaning more towards the Coke side, but look, mate, every man and his dog does Coke. Not every man and his dog does Dick, you know.
Yeah,
so
have you ever watched Kalen Ponga in an interview ever?
Well, not thought about him taking Dick in the interviews that I have seen him in, but you know, what are your thoughts, mate? Tell me.
Oh, I just think he's very effeminate, and that would be a clear indicator back in our day.
Mate, look, it is what it is. You look at the statistics, the old school, 1 out of 10 blokes must be well, mate. There's 180 blokes, 250 blokes. How many of them there are? 500 who play NRL. So, you know, hey, there's got to be a few in there. Mate, look, wow.
Rugby League's got everything this week, hasn't it?
It really does.
Tragedy, laughs.
Yeah, mate, we obviously started off last week up here and, you know, losing Greenie. And, you know, it wasn't... Oh, here we go. Here's the man himself. He can weigh in on the... You can weigh in, Hampton, mate. You might not be a pro at the cock-taking side, mate, but what about the coke-taking side? You've got your own opinion, mate?
Oh, fuck. I thought we'd be past all this by now.
Mate, I think we've been in the toilet cubicle together once or twice.
Look, mate, it's... I just figure someone like Kalen Ponga, like, what's he doing? Club captain, on over $1 million a year. In a public... Fuck me, Dad. You got enough money you could build your own nightclub in your house, for fuck's sake. Go and do whatever you want. Just...
Hey, isn't there one in the new house that he bought? Or
it's a very small house that he bought. It's more for location, I believe. It's right on the beach. Have a party on the beach, but you know you can't sneak off to the cubicle at the beach.
How's the last month been? It's just been one circus after the next. Ricky would be happy about this Coke saga, and
mate, all of a sudden everyone's forgotten about Ricky. No one remembers that whatsoever.
What's going on, Ricky?
There we go. Get me normal size, mate.
All right, boys, how are you? So I'm late. Fucking 2 minutes.
Oh, we were very early.
How's the new little one, mate?
Oh, yeah, you know. Baby.
What is it? Elkie?
Elkie, yeah, young Elkie.
Elkie.
Yeah, look, 4's definitely too many.
You're looking to trade one, are you? Or?
Yeah, look,
Oh,
I reckon probably 2 should have just got a
Matty's
dog.
still got you covered, mate. Matty's still got you covered by plenty.
There's got to be a special
Speaking
type of person.
speaking of Matty, he caught our special Friday stream.
Tell us what happened, mate.
I don't know what happens because usually when I start streaming, I've got to hit the start stream on YouTube. But what's happened is that I've been working heaps, so I've just been putting my PC to sleep. As soon as I finish the show, I put my PC to sleep.
We lost 4 subscribers this week, so maybe they didn't enjoy the Bogan show.
Yeah, well, if I do,
I said, lucky you didn't treat yourself to Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters.
I was playing games online with someone else. I think I was ranting about the price of video games, trying to charge more, and they're shit these days. I was going on an old man rant, but
Vintage Bogan.
Yeah.
But I remember going into EB Games and paying $100 for every game that you bought. Like, surely they don't cost that much anymore.
EB overcharges anyway, but they're pushing 120 now.
Wow.
And there's a lot of debate on whether they should be higher price. And my argument to that is that they should be better quality if they're going to charge more. But anyway, I lent on my keyboard. As I said, had my computer asleep, but I've lent on my keyboard and went live without knowing. So I still had everything set up from the show on Tuesday.
This is just the extra stuff that our fans get from us.
And exclusive content.
The only reason I knew we were live is because I was watching a YouTube video on my phone and I saw that we were live. So we were live for about 48 minutes. Fuck knows what I talked about.
Yeah.
And apologies to anyone who tuned in, but I did notice that Matty was there.
Nah, fair enough. We've got the boys in the chat again. Matty's in the chat. Benny, Shano, Shielsy's there. Welcome, lads. It's you 4 and us 3 watching the stream. So we're definitely getting down to the business end of the season, boys, because everyone's disappearing from watching the show. Hampton, last week, mate. What happened? What did you go?
1162. So just, probably under par. Captain Nico.
Yep.
Nothing. I don't have Latrell. Latrell's killed me. He's just, been producing. He was the big one, I think, really. But I didn't perform that badly. Had a few sort of stink it up, but nothing too special. So
yeah, I think it was
1162, and I dropped 300 spots again. So I blew out to just around 6,800. Keep blowing backwards, unfortunately.
Mate, 1108 for me, and I dropped about 600 spots down to 2,500. It's probably one of those weeks though where I don't think there was too much difference between a good week and a bad week. Like,
top score was 1450 odd, so it's not that high really.
Yeah, exactly. So, mate, look, I'm in the same boat as you, mate. I don't have Latrell. I'm really hoping this groin strain is something more than whether he can play this week. No Latrell for me, and DCE's killed me the last 4 weeks, mate. I brought him in 4 weeks ago. He's had 4 absolute shockers. I've played him every week, hoping that something will change. But mate,
pretty disappointing from Manly in that game.
Yeah, look, massively.
We called it last week though. That was upset of the round.
Yeah, look, we did. We spoke about it. And we sort of said it as well that Manly would score 4 tries still, and they did. It's just the Titans put on 8 for once. So, David Fafita scored one of his Fafita-esque tries, and then did nothing for the rest of the game.
Pretty vintage Dave at the moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, mate, look, I'm glad last week. Obviously, I had the week off in a lot of the comps because 1108 would have lost me in every single one of them. So hopefully this week can bounce back, mate. I'm just torn again. Do I play Cherry Evans or not? They're up against the Sharks at Brookvale. Manly's got a good record against the Sharks there. And, Jakey out this week with a broken hand. Manly got so much to prove because they've been terrible the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, and you've worn him for the last 4 weeks. You'd be sick if you your same,
And mate, if he did it against Cronulla as well, that'd just
salt in the wounds. In terms of their top 8 aspirations, I think that pretty much puts a line through them because their for and against is so bad compared to the Roosters. So I mean, they're playing for pride. Ironically, I think that was the tweet that went out, and they'll now be playing for pride.
Next 3 weeks, those boys won't be playing.
I don't think it'll be an issue for guys like Garrick. So Ola, will we see him put in now? They put the Q in the rack, or I think Garrick will be fine. He always tries hard, probably Cherry as well, but you have to question him after that performance on Sunday.
Yeah, no, definitely. Mate, other news, obviously, the 2 Newey boys today, mate. What happened there?
I think they're late for the team bus on leaving Brisbane or something. Was my understanding. So, it's gone from worse. It's just gone to dismal. But I mean, how much worse can it get? We're already fucking going shit house. So,
when does the coach get fucking held accountable? Mate?
Fuck, I can't believe he's still got. He must have some pictures of someone doing something because fucking dead.
Mate, him and Jimmy the Jet, mate. Him and Jimmy the Jet. I don't know how Jimmy the Jet's still got a gig in the NRL.
Maybe he's got the pictures of Ponga of what was going on.
Maybe he does, but Peter Parr's come in there now, so I don't know what to think now. What do you do as a Knights fan? It's just the bar's so low now. You don't really expect too much week to week, and fucking the off-field stuff. Clem now as well, injured. Read into that what you will, but
I don't think I've seen. I know, obviously, there was a few years ago there. You guys had the spoon a couple of years, I think, in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 back to back from I think 13, 14, 15-ish from memory.
I still think this is worse now. Like it just feels worse,
What are we? 5, 6, 7 years down the track, whatever it is. We've just signed Clifford. He now wants out because he does not get in the game time. Milford's gone. Ponga's fucking playing 3 games a season, and he's not even wearing a Knights jersey when he's playing the best ones.
Yeah.
All this stuff. The coaches surely lost their sheds. Like
it just seems that Newcastle in a constant state of rebuilding, but never built.
Yeah.
Can Joey Johns please just fucking step up and coach him or something?
Oh, mate, look, I think we spoke about it, didn't we? Just get 4 or 5 of the old boys together. Budsy, fucking, Mark Hughes, fucking, I don't know.
There's something not right there. There's something not right. There's something not right. Like, I don't know what it is, but anyway, fucking hell. Like, fuck, I play Supercoach, and even that's not even anything for me to talk about.
Now, what else happened on the weekend?
Paul.
Finchy.
Finchy's back. Yeah.
Finchy's kids. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Finchy was back in court.
Mate, I tell you what, I really didn't think it'd be this bad. Like, I didn't. Mate, I thought maybe they found a couple of images or whatever of some little, maybe some 16, 17-year-old girls. Well, turns out it was boys. And it turned out...
oh, is that right?
It turned out it was boys. So basically, I was reading the stories today about it and how he's pleaded guilty. So it started off on some little chat site or whatever about trying to get little 16, 17-year-old boys. And then over the time, that's turned into 12 and 13-year-olds. And I tell you what, mate, it really doesn't look good for Finchy. And I'll be surprised. I know, obviously, we're mourning Greeny with what happened last week, mate. But mate, everything that's gone wrong for this lad in the last few years with the drug use and the mental, I'm surprised he's still here, to be honest. Like,
so what's that mean for your team, mate? You're going to change the name? Finchy's
no,
boys?
Mate, no. Well, yeah, maybe we should. Maybe that's next year. We'll see.
Yeah, very, very sad though, isn't it? Like, obviously, as you said, well documented his demons the last few years, but inexcusable King, obviously, and
pathetic. Yeah,
as I said, the same thing goes for Greeny. You just don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and just goes to show, you can't take anything at face value these days, can you? So, yeah, you can rot in a cell.
Absolutely, and he will do for a long time, I think. So, yeah. All right, Bogues, get some games up, mate. What do we got this week?
Rabbitohs.
Look, Thursday night. Obviously, made big news with Latrell being named this afternoon. Mate, I've got fingers. I've got everything fucking crossed that I can, that the bloke doesn't play.
Fuck off.
What do you say about Latrell since he hasn't come back? Since he's come back in the I think it's what's he got 7 weeks. King, he's scored 52 in one of them, and the rest are all 93 plus, and that includes 3 big tons, 150, 136, 3-round average of 106, 5-round of 111. Holy dooly! What do you say about this bloke? He just, South are making a charge, and he's in probably career best form right now, I reckon. So,
Mate, look, across the park, him great. AJ's just doing what AJ does. He doesn't do anything more than put the ball down, but that's enough for him.
Murray's unbelievable.
They welcome Campbell Graham back this week, so he'll probably need a week or two to get in form and get his legs back. But Cody Walker's been abysmal this year, but now that Latrell's come back, he's sort of started to perform a little bit more consistent. Cameron Murray, mate, wow. Him and Colin Matangi, mate, they have been absolutely massive this year in the back row. And Cookie's just doing Cookie, So across the park, the big boys up front, Totola. Mate, it's a very, very solid side. The only thing I see as a weakness for the Rabbits is their bench. I really think they find a little bit of a weakness when they do have their guys go off up front like Totola and that. I think that and if Cameron Murray does have a rest during a game, I think other teams can sort of pounce on him then and there. But as it stands, mate, their top 13 is as good as anyone else at the moment.
I mean, they're big smoky coming. I think Totola's been on an absolute tear of late as well. But yeah, they're making some moves. It'll be an interesting game, obviously, with the halves still out for Penrith. Tyron May's still out there as well. Big game. I think South's trying to push for a top 4 spot and still definitely within range there. They're chasing sort of Melbourne there. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's interesting with Latrell. Do you risk him and try and push for that top 4, knowing that it's not in your hands? You still need Melbourne to lose one of their last 3.
Don't risk him.
Against, they still got a pretty tough draw. Melbourne, they'll play Brisbane, Chooks and Para. But that said, South have to beat Penrith, Cows and the Roosters to finish. So, if Latrell's got a groin issue, you don't want to probably push the friendship, not Supercoach wise, but just for their finals aspirations wise. But yeah, as a non-owner, if I can just sit him for the next 3 weeks, please.
Oh, mate, absolutely. And look, the worst part is, mate, I've got 1 trade left, and I simply just don't have the funds to get him. I can't get there. It doesn't matter sort of what I look at. So, 1 trade left, I think, is probably the worst.
And I guess the beauty of this one being the first game, Kingy, any of those Latrell owners will obviously know whether he's playing or not, and can plan accordingly. Panther side of the park, Edwards is back. Taruvas, I think he didn't even start on the wing last week, did he? They shifted. Did he start on the wing last week? I think he did.
He started on the wing because they talked obviously about him and Toto changing, and they never did. He started on that left wing, and that was where he finished. So they were talking about maybe Toto changing sides and being outside Tungo, but that didn't happen.
Probably leaning towards South, just based on their recent form and the Panthers' halves missing still. But
yeah, look, I think the same thing, mate. I think South will probably get it, but at the same stage, Dylan Edwards will be a welcome return for the Panthers after that rib injury last week. Mate, they definitely lost a lot more with him out than probably Luai or Cleary, to be fair, because of the different depth of ability between Edwards and someone like Staines at the back is huge. Yeah. Edwards just does so much. So, anyway, yeah, the weak gutted dog at 6, mate. He'll continue to perform well. So yeah, there you go. Mate, I tell you what, my second rowers are killing me at the moment. I've got Billy Kicks, Maddo, Crichton. They're all just banging out 50s, and you need 80s. Murray's the only one. I brought in Murray 3-4 weeks ago, and he's been a blessing for me, mate. He's probably the one right move that I've made late in the season. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we missed the boat when he was 580k when Matty came on the show and ruined that because he's on an absolute tear. Murray, he's absolutely killing it.
How do you actually tell in the app? How do you tell when you brought someone in? Can you check?
It's in your trade history. If you go to the home, your team view. Oops, hang on. In your team,
Trade assist.
It's history. Is it history? Could be wrong.
Field. History.
History? No, it might not be history. Somewhere.
List.
What's history? Oh, trade history on the right. So go history at the top, and then over on the right you got trade history. A little toggle between league results and trade history.
I'm in a different fucking spot to you.
Might be different on the phone. I've got it on
Oh,
the-
right. Oh, you're on the phone. Oh, you're on the thing. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Murray, Big In, Latrell, if you want to take the risk, but you got to look, and yeah, what else is there to say classic wise, King?
Yeah, not too much.
Still
Mate.
got Appy?
Nah, I got rid of him.
Good. He's been good.
Probably got rid of him at the wrong time too. I went to Brayley. I think Brayley was about 400k, and I think I got rid. It was a cash grab. I think I made about 200k out of it. So, unfortunately, Brayley, as much as he's been all right, he probably hasn't hit that sort of 80s or 90s. I was hoping he would, and that's purely just because Newcastle are fucking terrible. But he's just one of those guys where I've sort of got that on the bench, that 450, 500k player that you just can't play,
Yeah, I'm the same. I got stuck with Talakai, Tupanua.
Yeah.
Just blokes I can't do anything with because they've just
Yeah.
bottomed in a bit of price. So I've got one trade king as well, and just can't really do much.
Well, mate, that's it. I look at my one trade, right? I've got Brayley, I've got Max King still, even Daly, Cherry Evans, mate, 490k. Like I can't move him to anyone worthwhile. The only thing I can look at is, and the only thing I was thinking was Maddo if that head knock had come about last week, going to him to Ruben Cotter. Maddo ended up playing and scoring 58. I think Cotter scored 71. So
Yeah,
much.
He's a beast, isn't he?
Oh, man. Again, fuck. Having him from the start of the year, obviously he had those time out with the hamstring, but he's come back very well. Next game, folks, Friday night, 6 o'clock game. Cowboys up against the Warriors. So obviously we're speaking about Ruben Cotter there. Look, the Warriors have been solid enough, Obviously a good game there last week against the Doggies. Been nice to see them back over in New Zealand and being plenty competitive. Unfortunately, when they have come back to Australia, they haven't shown too much resistance to some of these teams. So I think the Cowboys Friday night, 6 p.m. up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium can just get the job done on them. And, mate, I'm hoping that probably Drinkwater can play well, mate. And a few other boys here that I've got from the Cowboys, mate. You got any of these lads?
Nah, fucking that Drinkwater trade, whatever it was, I think 3 weeks ago hurt. Although he was a bit quiet on the weekend. He's had 2 out of 3 tons since I traded him. But look,
I actually didn't play him on the weekend thinking he'd be a bit quieter after the 2 tons. So that was a bit of a blessing. But
look, fair play against the Chooks as well, and good call. Look, last good matchup you'd say for the Cowboys. So
we've lost Hampton. Look at that screen. Can you get it? Is that frozen on yours like it is on mine?
Yeah,
Get a screen grab on that one.
could be looking at. Yeah, they're still trying to push, I think, to stay in that top 2 as well. So they're going to keep winning footy games and probably put this foot forward.
You back? Hello? He couldn't hear anything.
Back.
No, he got reinstated, mate. Got
Lifted.
He's good to go.
Yeah.
He's good to go. You're here.
I'm here.
All right. Yeah, no, Bogues, I think everyone felt the same, mate. That's why they had to change it back. So I saw the captions or the stories come through today saying that they'd reversed their decision, and he's welcome back. So yeah.
Felt back, boys.
Felt back, yeah. Look, I reckon that's a good thing for Val Holmes. I reckon maybe that'll probably see him go to that right-hand side a little bit more. I tell you what, look, Val Holmes, he looks good at stages, but owners wouldn't have wanted the last 2 weeks with 30-odd points, I think, each week. So I'm sure Benny's seen.
Yeah, I nearly traded him last
Benny's
week.
seen.
It was the week to trade him too, but missed it. Dropped a bit of price and is going to continue to fall with another big break even this week. So hopefully if I can turn up this week or something, save some coin. But yeah, otherwise I got no one to trade. I want to make enough money, King. But as I said, people with Nanai, Lolo, Cotter, Robson, there's plenty of Supercoach relevant guys in the team, as you said, with Holmes and Drinky as well. Plenty of people probably licking their lips at some VCs in this one, King.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Mate, Eli Katoa, on the bench for the Warriors, scored a nice try there last week. Has he signed for Melbourne? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, he has. I think a 2-year deal with Melbourne.
I swear he's gotten 20 kilos bigger in the last 12 months. Like, he obviously had that starting spot there last year or maybe the year before where he seemed to be getting a lot of minutes and then he's just sort of faded away a little bit. I reckon he's going to be awesome in that Melbourne system. I reckon, obviously, that they're losing the Bromwich boys, seeing a few other lads move on. I reckon there's some good young second rowers in the game that Belly could go out and sort of recruit and I don't reckon Melbourne's going to see too much of a downturn in the next couple of years, to be fair.
I agree. It's almost just like a bit of a trade them in for some younger versions of what they had, and they can turn them into a bit of a Kenny Brom or a Felice Kafusi as it was. I think Katoa was a great young back rower, and the Warriors are a bit of a basket case. So they let go of IPAP. Look how that's turned out.
Yeah,
they'll let go of this bloke, and he'll kill it at Melbourne, running off Hughes and even maybe Munster for next season alone. But yeah, I think he'll be even a lot of teams to start next season for sure. Curran on the bench, just fuck me dead.
But how is Josh Curran not light years ahead of Bunty Afar? Like, Josh Curran should be playing 80 fucking minutes. Yeah, fucking.
I mean, Murchie's been good, and I mean, Aiken's probably not done much wrong, but he hasn't been setting the world on fire.
Big Ted in the
and
chat.
you know he's going.
G'day, Big Ted. We're just talking about these fucking brilliant Warriors of yours, mate. Yeah, but he lives over there. Fuck. They're useless cunts. Manu's a big fan of the Warriors too. All right, next game, boys.
Yeah.
Broncos up against the Storm. You know Corey Oates has been going all right this season. Maybe not Supercoach, but every now and then he's popping up. Yeah, he hasn't had that fucking 120 or 130 game this season, I don't think yet. And he might be past that, and it probably won't be against the Storm, but, maybe in the last few weeks. But who's got trades left? Fuck, no one.
I do, but my team's fucked.
No, he's been scoring doubles and not even tunning up. He's
Yeah.
scored doubles a few times, not tunned up, and even scored 60 or 70, King. But yeah, Melbourne looking a bit more closer to full strength. I know they're still missing Felice. They've abandoned the whole Seve and Anderson and Eremaya, and rightly so. Young Tanamapea, I reckon, will do a better job at centre with Nofo, and then Coates back now. It makes that back line look a fair bit better.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people probably calling for Munster to go back to one, but I think he does a pretty good job.
Mate, how bad are the West Tigers going to loan out Nofo? Like, he has looked brilliant the last 2 weeks of Melbourne. Like, he has just fitted straight in. He's the kind of player that's going to give 110% for them because he knows he's playing for a gun team. And it's sort of sad that they don't do that for these lower tier teams. But I don't know. This is just where you go back to better coaching, better systems, and Melbourne have just always got it.
Giving the blokes something to play for as well, like finals on the horizon.
Yeah.
It just goes to show what a change. I know it's only a loan, but what a change can do for a player. And
the boys in the chat talking about the cheese. Mate, lads, I've had him twice this year. I've traded him out twice. He finally did last week what we thought he was capable of, the 89 points or whatever it was. Beautiful try from 50 out, individual solo. Although he did get pushed through the gap by Tui Kamakamika. Very nice try there last week from the cheese.
He's been good last 4 games he's played. Minutes a little bit down, 55 last week, 45 the week before, but the 2 games prior to that he played 60 and 70.
Yep.
So a bit of a punt, but he's cheap, and maybe if he swings into that starting role, but again, he fucking burnt me this season as well in a couple drafts, and it's too late for all that shit now. So fuck him.
Next game, folks. 3 o'clock on the Saturday. I don't know who's playing. Eels and the Doggies. Oh. Mate, the Doggies obviously have improved. They've gotten better. There's another news story from today. Ciraldo, 5-year contract. So here, Cameron Ciraldo leaving the Penrith Panthers. He's had obviously a great stint there, coaching the under-20s team for a while, and then obviously assistant coach to Ivan Cleary. Mate, I don't know. Like, the Eels have probably been the most frustrating team all year. I mean, at least some teams have just been shit. You know what I mean? Like, some teams have been good, some teams have been shit. You know what to get from them. Mate, the Eels play like world beaters one week, and then you put them up against someone outside the top 8, and they just look terrible.
Yeah, and the Dogs have been a bit of a hoodoo for them, haven't they? So yeah, look, the Dogs seem to be on, bouncing back a little bit. Look like they'll be, better for it next year. Bit of a brain fart last week, getting pumped by the Warriors over there, but they've still been leaking a fair few points. So yeah, very Supercoach friendly one this week for Para, I think, King. But yeah, Para again, like I said, they've got a lot more to play for. Whether or not that's good for them or not, I don't know. But Canterbury will be throwing the ball around as well. Mate, you got Gutho. I know on paper you straight away think it's a good matchup, but are you looking at throwing anything on someone like Gutho or anything like that, or Dill Brown? I think I was leaning at VC for Dill this week.
I brought in Gutho 2 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. And I went here. I didn't have the cash, obviously, like I say, for Latrell. I brought in Gutho and Murray that week. And I'm pretty sure I made the decision to go Murray instead of Latrell. That was sort of what I looked at. It was like, all right, go the bigger, higher price second rower. Gutho scored 121 or whatever it was. Murray was good. Gutho was a little bit quiet last week. He gets Mitchell Moses back this week. Mate, Eels should put points on them. And really, if both teams play to their full potential, the Eels are, 4 to 5 tries better than the Bulldogs team. It's just whether we see it or not. So, yeah.
A lot more to play for. Young back rower, it looks like is a debut for that young Harrison on the edge there. Is he on debut? I don't know. I've not seen that name before. Harrison Edwards. And big Lukey Thompson back in that extended bench, and TPJ as well. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, look, expecting Parramatta to get the job done. I know there'll probably be Para fans that aren't, but I reckon Para in for a big one here. I'm chucking the VC on Dill Brown.
You know what I don't understand for the Eels, right? You got Sean Lane and IPAP who play 80 minutes. Madison realistically doesn't play 80 minutes, but he should. Why the fuck have the Eels always got 4 forwards on their bench? Like, no Bryce Cartwright's but I mean, Regan Campbell-Gillard, even he plays big minutes if he needs to. The balance just seems out at the Eels with what they've got there. I never understand Opicic in the side because he's fucking useless. Anyway.
I mean, Junior doesn't play huge. He might play 40 to 50 max generally. Like, he's playing that 45 minutes.
From the back,
and then it might be one of those blokes get like 10 minutes or something.
What's that?
One of those bench blokes like a Okafiki or someone like that probably doesn't play too many minutes, to be fair.
Obviously, Ofahiki's come from the Dogs where he didn't get too many minutes there either. If he has played, I reckon he'll get 8 or 10 minutes a game, and it's just like
Kafusi generally doesn't get too much of a share of it either.
No. Cora seems to be the one who comes on at lock for when Madison goes off for that sort of 25 minutes, and he probably gets the lion's share. I don't know. It just seems a strange bench to me. But anyhow. Next game, folks. Let's run through them, mate. Seagulls up against the Sharkies. Yeah, look. Oh, mate, I tell you what, like I say, fucking Brookvale Oval. I think Sharks have won maybe 3 times there in fucking 46 years. So it doesn't happen too often that we go to Brookie and win a game against Manly, regardless of form, regardless of how people are playing. Matty Moreland comes back for the Sharks. They welcome back Connor Tracy. See if Talakai stays out. Toby Rudolph, he's got 4 weeks suspended at Northies. He's out for 4 weeks with medial ligament strain. For the Seagulls, obviously, as we mentioned, Jake Jabojevic is out. Dylan Walker comes into lock to start. Olakuatu, mate, a little bit quieter late.
Yeah, he had one disallowed last week, which owners would have been spewing about. Yeah, his last 3 weeks have been very quiet. Just not much attacking stats in him.
Yeah.
You'd be hoping, he finishes the year big, but again, they don't have really anything to play for now. So that's whether or not you think they're going to pull their finger out and try and, Sharks pushing for a top 2 there. They play Canberra next week, who, the only other team of realistically making a chance of making the 8 there. They'll need to win next week. So whether they just want to ruin a few other seasons or they're more interested in throwing gang signs out in memory of Manise or whatever his name is. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. But he's bottomed out. I think he's the cheapest deal have been all year. Not quite, but pretty much 520k. So if you think there's something in him, jump on. They obviously lose Gerbo as well. So, whether or not they just start throwing him the ball a little bit more, I'm not sure. But
and
yeah,
mate,
he's been good. He's had a good year.
Is Nico the unicorn this year?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. Not really. He fucking touches the ball a lot. He does a lot of hit ups and stuff for a halfback. He takes a lot of runs.
But I'm more sort of looking at
big
updates,
base in him.
right? Updates. He just seems to always update 15 or 20 points. Like.
Do you know what I reckon? I reckon there's players that play Supercoach and know what some of the things are and stuff. And I reckon he's one of them. The offloads, the tackle bus, the things that he does. You just think, why would you? Teddy's one of them as well. I reckon. I think Tedesco's brother plays and he's well aware of what the points scoring stuff is. To me, Nico seems like one of those guys. So some of the things he does on the field, you just think he doesn't need to take that hit up there, or I don't know. It might sound crazy, but to me, that's what it looks like sometimes.
Yeah. Mate, Dykes has looked awesome at fullback for Cronulla. I didn't know the kid had that much ability. Like, we've seen him the last couple of weeks. He looks really good. Lockie Miller looks solid enough under the high ball at the 2, even for such a little fella. I like how the Sharks are trending, mate. I think there's a lot of good performance across the park for the Sharks. And like I say, I think this is just a little bit of a danger game because of history. But with where the Sharks sit on the ladder, I think it'll definitely be one they've got to go out there and win for sure to try and get that top 2 spot and grab a home semi-final for that first week. I think it really looks like, obviously, Cronulla are going to be playing North Queensland in that first week of the finals.
Just a matter of where.
Yeah, it's just a matter of where. Obviously, the Cowboys and Penrith face off in the final round. So that'll be interesting if that's 1-2 at the time. If Penrith can get up in that and Cronulla get the last few wins. And like I say, hopefully we can grab that second spot and, have the home semi-finals to begin with and maybe get the week off and give us a better chance to win the comp. But,
I mean, this is a big game for you boys. This is probably your hardest game for the next 3 weeks, unless you consider the Dogs a harder fixture and then you finish with us. So, I mean, Cowboys have got it tough after the Warriors. They play South and Penny, and then Melbourne have got it pretty tough too. So I can see you guys finishing second, and then whether you play Melbourne or the Cows, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think, fucking Wade Graham's an absolute shocker in that. On the edge, I'd prefer Tej in there. But, he's getting the job done. I don't know. Can Cade play 6? Because holy dooly, Kennedy comes back. You got some good problems to have there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the future's bright, and Royce Hunt fucking had an absolute blinder last week. He's
I think we finally saw what we've sort of been expecting. It's hard to say he's always shown it because he probably never really has. But if you sort of watched him close enough, his years at Canberra, early years at Cronulla there, and there was always something there. He just sort of had to get the opportunity. And last week he steamrolled over a few lads.
He's still not getting much opportunity. It's like he's been held back a little bit. He's only getting 30 minutes a week generally, but he's huge potential and definitely one of the next couple seasons for sure.
Yeah. Next game, folks, 7:30. Roosters up against the Tigers. Oh, look, fuck, you've after what we saw last week, mate, with Cronulla, Tedesco, Manu, Walker, there's got to be some VC and captain options here. Like, fucking hell. The Roosters could have put on 50 or 60. West Tigers were terrible last week against Cronulla. And I'll be honest, I thought the best players for the West Tigers
And they lost
week.
to us the week before. That says a lot.
What's that, sorry?
They lost to us the week before that too, which
they brilliant win against the Broncos and then go down to the Knights and then get smashed by Cronulla. So, yeah, the ups and downs are ridiculous. I reckon the best 4 players for the West Tigers are the 4 guys on the bench last week. Austin Diaz came on and absolutely had a crack. Pole looks good off the bench. Freeband, mate, he's been a West Magpies player in New South Wales Cup for many, many years, their captain. And he's solid, and Seyfarth looks good as well. So Joey O's had a go, but like I say, he's always had his defensive liabilities. Dewey needs to do more, but without a good 7 beside him, I don't think he's going to see too much of the ball. And he looks lazy when he doesn't want to be involved. So, yeah, I think the Tigers could be in for a world of hurt this Saturday night.
Yeah, Roosters starting to look a little bit better as well. I think maybe they're going to peak at the right time.
How many times have we said Suwali's amazing?
Yeah, a lot.
Mate, fuck, this kid's good.
I think there was something put up, I don't know how long ago it was now, if you had the choice to pick between, was it Swali and Cobbo? I obviously saw a game from Cobbo, but...
I said it back then that Suwali was so far, and he still is. Like, Cobbo's got nothing on this kid.
I'm sure I said Swali was matchup proof months ago, and I was laughed at by some people as well, but... Yeah, very exciting times for the Roosters with like I said, Joey and Swali, Sammy Walker. The future's still going to be pretty bright for him. But yeah, I'll take your pick this week. Is it going to be Joey? Is it Swali? Is it Teddy? Gus might be in for a big one. I think, this will be the one that we see a lot of the captaincy options.
Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I fuck Dewey off and bring Swali in. I haven't had Swali all season.
But yeah, it could be one, although it just depends which Tigers team rocks up. I think this might be one of the last games at the SCG, if I'm not mistaken as well, King. I think there's something happening there, and the Chooks generally put some cricket scores on there as well. So maybe if the weather's good on the Saturday night, good luck trying to pick the right one.
Sunday footy, folks. 2:00 game. Dragons up against the Titans. Mate, Amone. Where'd that score come from last week?
Yeah, crazy hat trick for the young
guy. Junior, he's done well. Jackie Bird was huge again last week. He's, I don't know. I just think he's wasted his career by. He should have just stayed at Cronulla all those years ago, I reckon, man. I don't know what happened. I can't even remember back then, but yeah, I reckon he should have just stayed with Cronulla. They would have been a lot better over the years, but yeah, he would have been too. Mate, for the Titans, as I say, return to form there last week. Tanner Boyd's been really good at the 7. Brimson was good at the 6. They return. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui comes back this week, mate. He had a little girl there last week. So they knew a couple of days out from the game that he wasn't going to be playing. Obviously, you spoke a little bit last week about him being an option for the run home.
Apologies, that was a stitch up because I had no idea he was bloody expecting and then heard that and thought.
Yeah, plenty of research on this show, BJ and GameDay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we always shoot from the hip, but the last 3 games are probably one of the best for any team. So Saints, Newcastle, and the Warriors. So Brimo is absolutely flying. You'd be, not out of place picking him up as a pod for the last 3 games of the season.
Yep,
he's in everything. Tino, big D fee, even for more, looks good. So. Yeah, I wouldn't be against. Like I said, if you're looking for a pod, AJ Brimson's probably one of them. Pick him up at 5'8" or fullback if you're looking for something very different. But you probably got to have some balls of steel if you're doing fairly well.
Sure.
Overall wise to bring someone like that, but maybe a good head-to-head, pod to finish the season.
And final game, folks, 4:00. We've got the Raiders. Who the fuck are they playing? Up against the Knights. Exactly. Who the fuck are they playing? How can this be the 4:00 game? Mate, you guys get some prime time slots tonight, so I know you get some good crowds up there. Surely you get 12 people turn up this week because they've just had enough of all the shit.
Oh, we still consistently get like 15, 20.
That's the
It's
disappointing
amazing.
part. Is you've probably got the most
Oh.
dedicated fucking fans, and I tell you what, you look at every one of them, mate, and I don't think any fan at Newcastle's ever played a game of footy or a sport in their life. But, mate, they are fucking dedicated. That's for sure.
Half of them are old ducks, I reckon. Bloody knitting, bloody teapot covers or whatever they are. But, crocheting, look at that. But yeah, look, not even Old Boys Day. I think we've reserved that for your blokes. So we'll probably lose that as well. Canberra's still trying to vie for that final spot in the 8. They'll be trying to push, hoping that the Chooks can drop a game. I'd have to assume they're going to run over us, but I also assume we'd lose to the Tigers. But there's a bit of a different matchup with the Tigers. But we were woeful last week. Milford was terrible.
Yeah.
No Bradman Best. Edric Lee comes in for Twala, which I don't think there's any issues there. I think we're our best wing pairing there now, but we're in all sorts. Clem's back, which is good if you had Clem and you're relying on him, but I just don't see it. I think OB's lost the sheds, to be honest.
Mate, it's so fucking disappointing because, you go back last season, 2 seasons, the Saifidi boys and Clemmer were leading the comp, like they were the New South Wales front row. Frizzell's been just such a good player for years and years. I just thought they had the core there for it. Obviously, Jaden Bradley's had his injury woes, but, they shouldn't have let Mitchell Pearce go. They should have kept him, and, I don't know. It's fucking disappointing for what they've got there, mate. And this is what I say, and like you say, you think AOB's lost the sheds. He must have, because the team on paper should be much, much better than where they're sitting on the ladder. I know someone's got to lose, someone's got to finish last every season or whatever, but teams like the Dogs, the Broncos, or maybe not the Broncos so much this year, but the Warriors, the Tigers, the Knights should be 3 or 4 wins ahead of those teams. So, yeah.
Yeah. But, fuck no.
Anyway.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
Tapane back, mate. That's going to be a big one. Tapane owners hoping he'll be back. It could be a stitch up late on the Sunday. Hudson Young's been good. Even Big Papa Lee's been pretty good. But yeah, I don't think again. It's just so late in the year. You're not going to have trades. You're looking at blokes like that.
I reckon Tapane. I reckon he plays, but I reckon they do a late change. Gula will start, and I reckon Tapane will come off the bench, and I reckon he'll play maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
I mean, we've been good nowhere, but we've been pretty bad in the middle. So if he plays, I think he could be in for a big one.
And that's it for games. So there you go. Draft for last week. I know we obviously don't go through the results. Bogan, you obviously lost the final of the draft to Benny. Benny makes his way into the final. And then I think Shano beat Kando in the elimination. Shano? Very good. And make sure you tune in Friday night for Bogan to go live again. Yep. Absolutely.
We also got Kando vying for his 3rd straight head-to-head in the BJ on GameDay Cup. He was quick to run.
Who is?
Kando.
Yeah, I tell you what though.
BJ on GameDay Cup. Yeah, the main league.
You
got
Adrianosaurus is looking strong in that one though. I was just looking at it. So
Elite Throbbery's been having a good season too. So he's 400th overall. He's performing pretty good. Who Kando plays this week? So league ranking of 65. 65 boys. Isn't that our is that Shields' team?
Elite Throbbery.
No, that's Ethan. Sorry, that's Chav. I don't actually know. We should know.
Yeah. So you got Adrian versus Bundy. And Kane versus Brad. Elite Strawberry. Yeah. For the BJ Cup. We might as well go through the whole lot while I've got it open. The Royal Rumble. It's Haynes Sweaty Sack, Matty.
I was gonna Matty would have to be in there for sure.
Up against I Feel Gould, Damon.
Hmm.
A Work of Cardi, Jared. And he's up against Bye Bye, Chris.
Oh, and just a side note as well, BJ and Game Day Cup for the bottom 8. Me and Hampton playing each other, and Mana up against Jesse with PTKB, Pete top, Kevin bottom. So not that it means much.
And in the Bogan Cup, Something Wong Bart is up against Robbo. And Polly's Pocket Rockets, which I'm surprised. Polly's Pocket Rockets, why aren't they in one of the higher leagues? But anyway, up against Jed with the Savage Goons, another one who should be in one of the other leagues. Bogan's Cup. Good luck to all involved in those, and we will go through the grand final previews next week.
Very good. All right, boys and girls, that'll do us for another week. Thank you for joining us. I think we capped out about 15 viewers. So obviously all the regulars, Big Ted, Shieldsy, Shano, Benny, Matty. Thanks for coming in, boys.
Rate, subscribe, share, because we lost a few. We lost a few due to my indiscretion.
Yeah, we'll have to add some more content, try and get a few more back. All right, boys, I'm out.